What's up, guys? Of course, what I'll bring to you today is another Counter-Strike video here with, again, you've guessed it, the trend of our team doing really well because of communication and the other team just either not communicating at all or communicating for the bad ways. And I promise you, I'm going to play more Counter-Strike and hopefully I'll have closer matches. Because this one here, again, a big blowout. It's not pretty. And it was so short before they actually surrender, because that's basically what happens when they surrender. Is that I chopped it all the way down. I think it's only 13, 14 minutes long, this video, so that's basically how it works. What I do for the pistol round usually, like I said, especially when I'm, despite the fact that I died here, you'll hear a lot of the teammates really talk. These two love to talk. Which was good and bad, because for the most part, like you'll hear one part where they're basically screaming at me when I'm basically trying to hear footsteps, which was distracting as hell. But at the same time, whenever they were going anywhere or they got killed or the other team they basically had a problem, they were basically giving strats good calls of basically everything that was unfolding and basically giving us good feedback on what we were going to have to do. So that's what worked out. I don't usually use shotguns an awful lot, like I said, but I do use shotguns for specific moments and specific times. Like this one here was sort of an eco round. I figure if I got maybe a kill or two with it, I'm going to make pretty decent money out of it in addition to getting kills. But on top of that, I'll be saving money. And it goes well. Like I take out these two, and I'm pretty sure I take out another two guys coming up. So already I've gotten a ton of money, and of course I contribute a large part. And this guy here, bang. This was actually a pretty decent shot, considering that if I had missed, I probably would have died because I had to reload after. That was just mismanaging my ammo count. Amateur hour mistake there, but we get the win, and I do pretty good with the Nova. I'm really enjoying the Nova, to be honest. As an eco weapon, that as long as you're true with your aim and you put yourself in situations like choke points, like toward Cat, or the tunnel areas there, you can really do some damage. The biggest concern is that you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you're outnumbered, because you'll only be trading kills, and that's not the best scenario. You want to try and get at least 2 for 1, especially if you're the counter-terrorists. Well, actually, I mean, especially if you're the terrorists. But if you get 2 as the counter-terrorist, then your team is in a huge situational advantage, especially of course, if you don't die. But if you die and you're able to take out 2 guys before you die, then as a counter-terrorist, you're in the driver's seat. You basically hold the cards. But if you're a terrorist, then yeah, you're not going to want to kill trade, because you're basically putting yourself in a situation that you're in bigger trouble than the counter-terrorist would be, because that's just the logic to it behind it. We end up killing this round. The next round up, of course, we get the win. Well, I shouldn't say of course, because I'm pretty sure they take 1, but I don't think it's for a bit. I'm pretty sure I ended up changing my mind, and at this point here, I didn't actually buy my camo for it. I'm pretty sure, though, because you'll see me use grenades better as well. In previous matches, well, you'll see me screw up really bad with a flashbang later on. I liked smoking mid. Sometimes a lot of people don't. I like smoking mid in this a lot, because I figure it's just one more way to slow the enemies down while I make my way to B. Because for whatever reason, because B can be tough. Sometimes they get themselves in a scenario where they all funnel themselves into the building, but then our team adjusts to catwalk rotating. So then if you have B and catwalk, then all you basically have to do is wait for them to try and make their push, because while the timer's against them, they have to push. So you basically wait for them to leave the tunnel, and they get absolutely mowed down, which is, of course, a big problem for them, not so much for us. I take that guy out with my favorite old weapon here, the op. I think I accidentally... No, it goes well. I take this guy out when he peeks his head, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, well, I take out the first guy first, and then the next guy peeks his head, if I remember right. Let me see. Does it happen? Yep, there it goes. That was pretty good. Pretty decent, I'd say. And we're off to a fast start, of course. We're up 4-zip already. And again, I figure because our team... Well, actually, before I'll get to it, this one moment here, I'm pretty sure it's soon too. I'm not 100% sure if it's this round or not. And again, if you've seen multiple videos of mine, of course I'm going to emphasize communication because everyone else does, and of course I will too. But you'll see why, especially in these lower level rounds, why it's so important. Like, I'm on the mic all the time for Counter-Strike. For Battlefield, not as much, because I feel the problem is you're not communicating to everyone because of much larger teams. Since a lot of people are in TeamSpeak, Mumble, Skype, whatever. Some people don't have mics, some people don't talk back. But I feel a lot more people do in Counter-Strike because it's a game that obviously relies on communication. Battlefield, not so much. And that's a bigger issue for Battlefield, I guess. It's like having a mic's not as important unless you're in big TeamSpeak match style of gameplays. But in Counter-Strike, you better be talking to your teammates with 5. And you'll see a perfect example, and this might actually have been the round after all. Because as you see, it's 4-on-2. I do believe, though, that it becomes a scenario, though. Like, what's he saying? I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this is the part here. It's 2-on-1. We know he's back there, so we know where he is. But, and look, my teammate's just fucking yelling at me. He's distracting the hell out of me. But we're right. This part here, I basically play the role of the sort of static opera. I'm not going to push up. I'm going to stay here, and I'm going to wait for him to either peek or show his face, and ideally shoot him, while my teammate takes a flank and takes him out. I missed a couple because I was still moving as I was shooting again. Problem there, missing. But if I stay here, he has 2 ways to go. He can push up to, well, our left toward A, or he can double back toward B. But either way, he'd either run out of the time or he'll run into my teammate, in which case when he gets shot at, I'll push up. So it's that constant mix of, do I want to push up and risk getting killed and putting it into 2 one-on-one scenarios where he's already proven he's done pretty well? Or do you want to attack both at once and hopefully a kill trade in a scenario where a kill trade's not going to be a bad issue? That's the scenario you want to look at. In my case, it was sort of a one-on-one scenario, but I figured, if I was staying back, I could hopefully put him in a situation where he has to account for me and he has to be weary of me. And while he's being cautious and weary of me, basically sort of holding him stationary, then hopefully one of my teammates can go in and crush him. And that's basically what happened over there. So that worked out. This point here, of course, I'm using the op. I'm pretty sure at this point they were saying that they were making a cat push for A, so I had to double back. But, of course, again, I probably should have died here. I believe they knew where I was. They shot at me. Like, you'll see it in a second. They knew where I was. They were shooting at me. I took some hits there, as you saw. I probably, again, should have died. But at this point, I doubled back, and I pushed against the wall, so that way he'd have to really look down to see me. And then just as he looks down and he sort of loses his concentration, he gets popped. And that guy gets me, unfortunately. But yeah, they win that round, and I think that's the only round they win. Maybe one more. That round didn't go according to plan. I missed the one shot there that probably would have won us the round unless I miscounted. And that, oh yeah, I buy this guy an M40A, or the M4A1. Wait,
yeah, I appreciate it, bro. Oh, and NOS came out.
Yep, see, there you go. And then I buy myself another op. Because look, we got tons of money. I still have almost $7,000 even after buying my own weapon and buying another. But you'll watch, because it turns pretty funny. He goes on a big streak with that gun, and then he goes nuts. He really loves the camo. He even says the camo is the reason why he had success. He wanted to...
There's another one coming, Calla. Watch out.
Well, he was telling... First he was giving the strats, but you'll hear him in the background. He goes nuts about the camo. He wanted the camo. He goes nuts. He basically says that the camo is the reason why he goes on a big streak, which was pretty fun and interesting to listen to. And going back, of course, to the strategies, 3-on-2 here. What we're doing, of course, the bomb is down on Cat like the guy suggested. So what I did is I figured I'd see long A first. I didn't see anyone, so I figure I'm going to guard the actual A bomb site with these two that come up. And hopefully with the guys that doubled back, hopefully they don't go back to B, because it didn't look like we really had anyone over there. And then the rest of the time it'll just be guarding A, because What does it look like? I can't really see the minimap. It looks like it's still down on A. So all we have to do is wait for those two guys to show up. They took out one of our teammates, Sion, sorry. He takes out the one guy. And it looks like... See, this part we split up. I said if you guard the catwalk, despite the fact that, yes, the bomb will be there and the probability is that he's probably going to go to you, I'll guard here just in case. Because maybe he'll try and sneak up and take us out. But then I realized, looking back at it now, he had 20 seconds to make his decision. He had to go cat. And I'm pretty sure he gets mowed down in a couple of seconds. Just wait for it. Just wait for it. Because he probably should have saved. With 7 seconds left, there's no way he was going to be able to get through two of us and plant the bomb. He was better off just saving, but he ends up getting himself killed, costing his team more money in the losing rounds. So that didn't help his team all that much. But I get it, like I was saying. At this point in time, when you're down, what does it look like, 6-1? At this point in time, it's probably not going to be a good scenario for you. Frustration probably gets the best of you as you're just pushing forward, just trying to do anything to not get miserably destroyed, and you end up making a few little mistakes. I'm pretty sure at this point too, they had at least one bot, maybe a second one. I'm not completely sure. I don't completely remember. But a lot of these rounds, I do notice that, at least in my experiences, that these guys that get into holes or big deficits in matches early either leave. And that was the part I was telling you earlier about a terrible flash. And the guy gets on the thing for his nice flash, buddy. That was awesome. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It was terribly done. I didn't realize most flashes can't be thrown that high. I took the gamble that I could throw it over the building. Hopefully you can hit the catwalk, flash the area, so I walk in, it hit the building. It got basically me and my teammate and nobody else. So it was terrible. But at this point, the match is going well. And in matches that are going well, obviously, you can try things that you probably wouldn't in a scenario where they're close. Because you can you have the chance, you have the leeway. You can make mistakes. You can put yourself in a scenario where if you make a mistake down the stretch, it's not going to be crushing to your team. So that's what we went for. I missed a few shots that I was surprised actually missed. Maybe it was just because I wasn't completely moving and I end up dying, but our team wins the round anyway. That sheep guy, actually, I played the next round right after I faced him, and his team crushed us. That was the match I got disconnected in. Like it said, it just disconnected me and wouldn't let me join. Then my internet crashed, and that was basically it for my night. So that match was terrible. But that's basically it. We win this one handily. I'm pretty sure they forfeit soon enough. We push, like right here, I just throw in smoke. I figure if they're going to be pushing B, I'll slow them down a lot with this smoke. And then since my teammates were being really good at communicating, I could double back. That was the one thing I was doing in the options menu, is lowering the music. Because I know a lot of people suggest to lower the music when you play the game, because that way it's just less of a distraction. You can hear more. But I've just gotten used to the music. I don't know why. I love the menu music in this game. It's every time I fire up the game and the menu music's going, it makes me just want to play the game even more. So I don't know. I've just gotten used to the music. I haven't felt like turning it down, but maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But that's basically it. They forfeit soon enough, so hopefully you enjoyed the round. And again, hopefully I'll post more gameplays where it's closer but I just got to play more. But I figure you guys seem to enjoy these based on the feedback that I've given, even in these blowouts, as I sort of give constructive tips of good and bad as I play. So hopefully you enjoyed this one as well. See you guys later.
Where did it go? Who grabbed? Dude, it just disappeared. I swear to God.
Aw, good game, guys.